Lafia aho, I say namaste, and thank you for watching Shadow of Wolves. Please don't forget to press that like button, to comment, to share, and continue the algorithm of my YouTube channel, as I have a mission, and my mission is to teach love, unity, and peace. Now, do know, all of you light workers who have the same mission, those of you who are star seeds, those of you who are giving blessings upon the world, teaching others with unconditional love, and who spread faith and love throughout the world, do know that there is a war within the heavens. Don't stop your mission. Keep going. Those of you who walk with the light of Olodumare, Alofi, keep your mission up. Help others who have none. The Spirit knows who has and who doesn't. Just help. Do prayers for other people. Do prayers for your community, for your children. In moving right along, the information that I have to give you is not something that I choose. When I'm giving you information, this information is requested for me to give viral through Spirit. This is not information that I just choose or plan from day to day. I'll plan it for the day, I'll think about it. And sometimes we want to talk about something else, but this brings us back. Spirit brings us back to the messages that are needed for when the time is right. So let's talk about synchronism between Damballah, the great law, and the synchronism of Orisha Obatala. Now, do understand, you don't mix these practices. So those of you who are Aleos, those of you who are all Orishas, those of you who practice your faith with Orisha, when you're doing your prayers and your mayubas, and you're giving thanks to Obatala, or whichever Orisha that you are told to work with or that you are crowned, do know that is a separate energy from the Luo. If you also, many of us get initiated before we get crowned into Sanse, some into Vodou, some into Palo. Usually those are the main ones, right? Before we get crowned. That is a different energy. So your altar and your prayers and your sacred space for the Luo, or say, for example, if you're a punit, okay, that is separate from your Orisha. It's two different languages, as Orisha is from Yoruba land, okay? And follow my other videos as I speak about this. But also, too, do understand that the Luo is very powerful, very beautiful. Sometimes there could be things that happen that we want to give up faith. We cannot give up faith. Why? Because we get tested. Keep going. If you know that you're preaching for the world and you're asking for guidance, the Luo will give you guidance. Always stay on the good side and blessings. And they could see without any humans or anything. Whatever we say, however we feel, they can see through us. They know exactly how we feel, what is right or wrong, and what we need to do to bring them closer to us. What I love about the tradition of Luo is that these spirits, these great kings and queens, are sent to guide us. A lot of people misinterpret their functions. They think that it's bad. As I grew up in New York City, even though my family were spiritual, and my mom especially, very, very spiritual, I always had some inner fear about voodoo, about 21 divisions, about Palo. I always thought, oh, it's bad. It is not bad, please. Those of you who are meant to hold on to your roots of your spiritual practice that have come from Africa or India or Iceland, wherever they're from, hold fast to it, because we cannot go by what was taught to us in the Christian faith. And I'm not saying the Christian faith is bad. Why? Because the Luo also has a lot to do with Catholic saints in translation. So, for example, let's get into Damballah. Damballah, for example, has synchronism, as they say, with Moses. He also has synchronism with St. Patrick. Okay, so in understanding Damballah, do know that these energies and these cosmic forces are not just statues and worship. Voodoo is not meant to hurt or harm. There are different energies that are bad, as some say the word bad, or lower energies, and there are those that are good. The archangels give us a choice of what we decide to do with it. And what we decide to do with it, if it is in good faith and in justice, they are the ones to deal with that. So hold fast to your belief. Never give up faith. Many of us want to give up faith because of bad happenings or incidents. Well, these are things for us to learn from. Stay strong with this. So let's talk about the synchronism, as it is absolutely a beautiful synchronism. When I think about Damballah, I think about a beautiful white serpent of peace, of harmony, that is very, very strong. He is so powerful, he does not speak. He hisses. He talks to us through telepathy. Those of you who serve the Luo, and I thank those that I spoke to recently who have beautiful energy that allowed me to see things differently from the way that I learned and was taught. I thank them. In understanding that with blessings, the Petra is very beautiful. Okay, Damballah has Petra energy as well. That energy could be very aggressive and very, very strong. They're here to teach. He also has Radha energy, very cool and very peaceful and very tranquil. In understanding that Damballah represents white, he has green in his colors as well. Also, there are paths of Obatala the same way. Paths of Obatala that also have a lot to do with the serpent. Let's talk about distinguishing and understanding the energies of the serpent, the energies of the great snake. The great snake is also in the Bible. Damballah runs through the Bible. He runs through the Injil. He runs through the Torah. He runs through the Sahuf. Do know that Moses' staff, when it turned into a snake, was it a bad thing? No. We were taught that. But the kings and queens, the pharaohs in Egypt, wore snakes on their head as a sign of sovereignty and being humble, of peace and strength. So, in going over, and I hope I'm not boring you because I have a lot to tell you, in going over Damballah, I want to make sure that I cover everything, okay? In understanding his strength. He is the husband of Ida Vodou. Okay, so a lot of times you will see his veve, and his veve is intertwined with her energy. He is also the husband of Ezrali Freda, Metreseli, okay, and she has 3 husbands, okay? So let's stay on the energy of Damballah. In understanding that Damballah, when you have him in your heart and you are a Sansista, you are a Mambo or Hugan or a Bakor and so forth, do know that that energy is always, always in practice for you. Do know that his offerings are very similar to Obatala. Damballah's offerings are white fruit, rice, white foods, okay, raw eggs, beautiful energy, white flowers. But how similar is that of Orisha Obatala? In the synchronism and understanding that Obatala was given the breath of life through Olodumare, who helped to create mankind. In understanding that Obatala is very peaceful, but his energy can be very fiery and very powerful as we look at Ayagona. Okay, so knowing Damballah, so for example, I have for you here the white flower, okay? In some cultures and houses, I respect all houses, once they're doing what is right and of good faith, takes flour, okay? Natural flour, baby powder. Obatala, cascarilla, okay? That is definitely a strong, strong force. In understanding this, let me make sure that I have everything covered for you. So Damballah is known to be venerated in the city of Vodou, okay? He is absolutely amazing. And how so? He can read your mind telepathically. He is very powerful. Do not underestimate the power of the snake. Do not underestimate the wise man. He has a lot to teach you. Those of you who work with Orisha Obatala, which is a different energy in Orisha faith. And when you're speaking in your beautiful language of, in Santeria of Yoruba culture, and knowing that you're doing your prayers, it is a different energy, but there's a lot of interesting similarities. Obatala's wife is Yemaya. Obatala covers the world and is the cloak for the world. Okay, so let me go into a little bit of things that you need to know about Damballah beside him governing the sky. Damballah also too has been, how do I say, I don't want to use connotated, but he has been known to have, he's been all misunderstood. Okay, when people see or they hear about a snake, or they think about, bad things that has to do with different energies of Lilith, that people disrespect her, or different energies of the snake was in the Garden of Eden. The snake is there to teach you what is right or wrong. They will give you a choice. Archangels sit back to teach you what is right or wrong. As Damballah loves milk, so does Obatala. So those of you who feel like you're not at peace, who need strength and need to call on the great creator, when you're on the side of the Luo, you can take a white bath. You can do your prayers. You can meditate with Damballah, and he will talk to you. He will tell you things that he may not tell someone else who is initiated in that faith. Now, separately, we're going over synchronism. Obatala is it's so needed when you need your white bath. Please look at my old videos on YouTube where I talk about making, and I show you to make a white bath with milk, honey, cascarilla, cocoa butter, white flowers. That's all you need. You can also add holy water with blessings of that. Please believe in what you have and have faith. Now, in going over synchronism, in Damballah having the energy of Moses, as they say, not saying he was Moses, and going over the energy of St. Patrick, and going over the energy of this deep, strong being. He is greatly respected. He is respected with the power of having both Petra as well as Rada, in understanding with all blessings that all of the Luo deserves respect, okay? And also too, let's see if we can go over some more, because I wrote so much for you. Not only is he the creator of life, and I'm going to explain. I said, why do I love Damballah? Why? Because also too, he can help with the waters below. He is so powerful that when his Veve is created, and when he is sang and prayed to from the heart, because everything that you do has to be from the heart, he will guide you. He will guide you in the right way. Always make sure that you do what's right. What I found interesting is when we're looking at different movies and different shows and so forth, a lot of these ancient, powerful energies show themselves and they present themselves to us in movies. So, for example, even in Harry Potter, they show you how powerful the snake is. So when you're looking at communication and when you're looking at the energy of the snake, please, those of you who have been initiated in Vodou, in Sanse, in 21, and I'm sure there's many other initiations that have to do with some sort of energy of the snake. Look at the medical signs of healing. Look at Kundalini energy. Look at how the snake intertwines and how there's a glow. Look at the healing powers of the snake. Do understand that we were taught different because this was designed to take away our power. I'm going to go into something deeper that I definitely had to tell you, and I couldn't help it. So just bear with me. I don't even have time to look over all of this, but let's go into Obatala before I tell you about this energy of the snake and going over the divine one. How do we call Orisha Obatala? Like I said, we don't mix energies. Many of us who have been crowned in Orisha faith have went through steps of spirit, understanding ancestors, understanding the commandments of God, understanding our spiritual court. Then we get initiated. Some scratched in Palo, some receive 21 divisions, some receive Sanse, and so forth. Then we walk into Orisha faith, which you have to abide by spirit first. So where does that lead us before I go into calling on the energy of Obatala? This leads us to understanding ourselves. You cannot just only call upon the great, great beings of the universe. You have to call upon the highest of self first. We tap into all of these beautiful different energies, Lord Shiva, Damballah, and so forth. But what do you have within? If you're all rotten and just messed up within, like you don't have a good heart, you don't forgive, you don't open up your doorway to a collective beings of light, two collective beings of light, what do you have within? You have to manifest and be a lowercase God within yourself. That takes a lot of higher power. So yes, you can have your initiations. You can have Orisha crown. You can be a punit. You can be a servant of the law and so forth. But what about your divine within? What about practicing the holy nature within so that when your time comes to leave earth, that you're not earthbound, connected to earthly things? Disconnect yourself from hate. Disconnect yourself from lower energies or people that will put things into your mind. Disconnect yourself. We're only human. So when we go through cycles of life, yes, we're naturally going to get mad. Yes, we're going to get angry with people. Yes, we're going to get angry with ourselves. But you must disconnect yourself from these earthly energies of emotion. You ventilate, you purge spiritually, and then you move on. You cannot rely on substances. You have to set yourself free so you don't stay earthbound, because then those negative energies are governed by spirits of lower energies that want to live through you. So you must become your inner God within yourself. This is no disrespect to a Lofi. This is no disrespect to Olodumare. This is no disrespect on the Luo side of Bondier, of Grand Muet. This is no disrespect at all, as that is a higher being causing us to climb the ladder and to do what's right. When you stay upon laughing at people, making fun of disabilities, making fun of mistakes that people make, and talking and creating all this negativity, it just becomes ugly. Then you stay earthbound. I don't know about you, but I would like to continue elevating, and I will. And I hope that you do the same. Now, my next message to remind myself, because I wrote my notes, this is also based on my Orisha practice, which is separate from my practice with the Luo, okay? It's separate. But I tell you this, how do you call on Obatala? Many people want to know how. Well, there is a rites of passage, right? So you know you get your Alekis, you know that you have your godparents and so forth. Obatala is called on through the opening of the shells that were consecrated and made in the Ocha ceremony. So those shells are read by an Oba Ariate, who is crowned in Orisha faith. So we call on Obatala. Say, for example, you are crowned Obatala and you would like to bring the Katakos of Obatala. That is also in company with Elegua. So you call on Obatala through the cowrie shells, which is called the Katakos. They cannot be bought and then just thrown. Oh, you'll be in trouble. Oh, time will tell. You don't do that, okay? Just like I can't go and be the Pope and just start going to the Vatican and walking around. No, okay? So those shells are consecrated. So that's how we speak to Obatala. We also speak to Obatala through Obi. So those who are santeros or santeras, high priests and so forth who are already crowned, they throw Obi and they talk to Obatala. So he is brought down through the cowrie shells, and he's brought down through Obi. On the other hand, Going back to Damballah, Damballah is brought down through his veve, through concentration. Once you receive your initiation in this faith, in respecting Luo, you sit and you meditate. That's why I love Luo too, because you can call on them once you sit and you meditate and you do your prayers. And with guidance of your godparent, your Bakor, your Mambo, your Sanse, with guidance, they can help you with that. So the beauty of Luo, and especially in talking and working with Obatala, I'm sorry, I'm looking at this, in working with Damballah and respecting Damballah, and you mark his veve. And this is something that you need to ask your godparents. You sit and you meditate and you talk to him. However, Luo requires always offerings, and they do not have to be through blood sacrifices. Yes, that does occur. No lie, it does. However, those of you who know what to do, you can give offerings of fruit. I already showed you the flour. Some use baby powder. Some use cornstarch. Listen, it's according to your house. I am here to teach. I am here to love. I am here to gather unity, because I know, as my mother would say, rest in peace, many are called, but few are chosen. One day we fly away. We are here one day and we go the next. We're just earthly vessels to learn and to take in what we learn and fill our homes with love. Now, what's important is to know that the Damballah is very, very primordial. He is the father of the sky. On the other hand, Obatala is the father of all Orishas. So when you don't know who your guardian angel is, when you receive your Elekis and you go through that, do know that you must say your father is Obatala until you get marked for your guardian angel. So let's see if I have anything else okay, he teaches us to be humble and to be patient. He doesn't teach hate. He doesn't hurt others. So please understand, when you want to do something for the Luo and you want to do something to harm someone, do know that you have to pay the consequences, that you have to give something back really bad in return. And that's where the mysteries are really, really deep. I don't even want to touch on that energy, because my energy is pure. I'm not perfect, but it is pure. So do know that you must always do good. Those of you who are considering getting your crown in Orisha, you only have to the end of this year to really get a big blessing, because they say that this year for Oshanla with the blessing is a big bless for those who are getting crowns. Congratulations. Those who cannot, hold fast to your prayers. Hold fast to the energy in understanding who Damballah is on the Luo side, in understanding that he is a great white serpent. He is very, very powerful. He speaks through many movies and different scripts in the Bible. For example, in Slytherin, very, very powerful. And this may sound corny for you, but it was the Slytherin who saved Harry Potter. When you watch everything, right? They tell us these things in like underhand, underline different symbolisms, and understanding the power and the energy of the great white serpent. Alafia, aho, I say, namaste, and blessings to all. Thank you for watching Shadow of Wolves. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and even if you're not into the faith regarding Luo, if you're not into the faith regarding Orisha, just hold on to your faith within yourself. Do know that you have to go through an energy and a level where you become the goddess and God within. Do understand that. Do know that there is a great creator of abundance that's willing to teach you through good and bad challenges. You will make it. And blessings to you. And Alafia Ho, I say, I got to turn this off myself. Everyone is sleeping. I pray that you continue to manifest and you work with the light and the power of your overall self. Blessings.